I wanted to create this video to speak to those who might be experiencing or feel like they might be experiencing a womb awakening or a feminine awakening. And this does go for men and women. So if you're a man that found yourself in this video, I'm not excluding you because I very clearly felt in my being that this is for like the collective of everyone. But that said, I'm going to use these words interchangeably: womb awakening, feminine awakening. Essentially, the feminine is rising in every single one of us on the globe right now who are on this path, who are have a soul purpose here to sort of help the collective move forward and bring forth these ancient energies here and these new codes and transmissions of light and of power and of love to our planet. What is happening in a lot of these souls, like myself, is a lot of feminine energy is rising within us because we are here to balance out the energies that have been out of balance, the masculine and feminine. The masculine has been in overdrive, and so we're bringing back into balance these energies and creating wholeness, unity, love, connection, and joy, you know, here on this planet once again. And so in this process, what has to happen is the feminine has to rise in every single person, including men. And so that's why we're just going to go straight into this, but this really came through big of like I needed to make this video around how to really know. I'm going to share a bunch of like things that could happen in your life to lead you to maybe feel or understand that you might be going through a womb awakening or a feminine awakening in your life. And you know, you can also say spiritual awakening, as I believe a lot of people who find these videos and on the earth are going through spiritual awakenings, but there's another layer to it, right? I think that there's a difference because I think that a lot of people can wake up spiritually and consciously to seeing, you know, there's more to life and it's beautiful and we're spiritual beings and it's not, you know, this little 1D reality that I thought I was living, right? Like, people are starting to wake up. But there are deeper layers to people and to souls and people's missions here. And my mission is helping people realize that, or helping people find me that might be experiencing a deeper layer of their awakening, which is the feminine, the erotic, sexual life force, Shakti energy, and the womb for a lot of women as well. But again, men, I know that a lot of men will be called to this work as well because it does not just apply to women, you know, and this time on earth is calling forth everyone to step up. And so, yeah, I guess I'll just start by sharing sort of like my own experience as well, what this has looked like for me in certain ways, not everything, but as much as I feel called to share, and also how you might be able to really tune in and notice, like, if you're going through a womb awakening, a feminine awakening, or things to look out for, or just say, yeah, we'll go into that. So first off, I want to share like what came through big is like the intuition and what this really is. And so you might be aware of what the intuition is, right? It's a very known word. It's like, follow your intuition, follow your gut. Like, we all know that, but very few people actually follow it and trust it. That's a big one because, again, we've lived in a world that has suppressed the feminine, and the voice of the feminine is the intuition, which is also tied to the womb and women, right? We have been suppressed of our voice, and so it has not been safe for people to listen to their intuition, or at least in current day reality now, it doesn't feel safe to our nervous system. Our body does not know how to do that because, first of all, we go to school, we go to workplaces, we live in a world that we are forced to do things we don't want to do, you know, and I can say from the minute I was born, like, I did not fit in school. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to get a normal job. Like, I didn't want to do any of these things. Yet I was forced into it because that's the society we live in. And so that it all starts from childhood, right? Where like our suppression of our very intuition, and in women, it's our wombs, it's our stomach, and this source of power within us. We are literally cut off from it. We are told to ignore it. You know, in school, it's like, I know, you know, growing up, it's like, it's either A, B, or C, right? There's no room for your own decision. Like, what if you don't agree with the answer, right? Well, it doesn't matter. It's like, pick one because you're wrong if you choose otherwise. Or it's like you have to ask to go to the bathroom. Like, we're put into a world where we are literally forced to be told what to do and give our power to other people, when we, especially a lot of us, you know, on this path, and myself, like growing up, it's like we know the answers within us, right? We come into this world as a soul, as a little being who is so wise, so tapped in and intelligent, but we are, I heard the word bred, like we are bred into a society where it's like we're created to be these little minions who follow the path of the collective, you know, status quo, where it's like we don't want to do that, you know. And so that's right now, I guess the first thing I'll share for like a sign or a way you might be, you know, going through this sort of awakening process, or even just questioning if this is for you, is like you're starting to get fed up with the system. You're starting to get fed up with following other people or agreeing with other people or doing things that you don't want to effing do. Sorry, my red light's on a timer. So yeah, and like you're starting to really wake up to the false illusions that you've been living in, right? Because we live in a world where it's like literally there's so many false illusions and people just portraying things that just like are not the truth. And you know, look at the news, look at Hollywood, look at all these sort of like players in the game right now that are force feeding us information and things that are just not for our highest good, are not evoking truth in us, but are evoking fear, you know, and are straying us from love, straying us from our bodies, and letting us, or forcing us to give our power in areas where we don't want to give it. And maybe you're getting frustrated, maybe you're getting angry, you're getting livid, you know, and this is a beautiful thing. I want to say that is like, let the rage start to boil and simmer and bubble up in you, because, you know, again, another part is like we're told not to get upset. I know in a lot of women, you know, we for centuries, and especially over the past couple hundred years, it's like we were sucked up into these corset dresses. We were told to play little nice girl and like housewife and not question, you know, authority or men. And we're just supposed to be these little sweet, innocent people. And it's just like, oh, my ear's ringing. Oh my God, my ear just rang so much when I said that. Wow. Spirit confirms. But yeah, it's like we have been literally forced into these roles that we don't want to be in. And it's coming to a breaking point in a lot of people, and a lot of women are starting to wake up and question whether or not the life that they're living was meant for them, or if they are here to do something else. And men too, it's like men are starting to realize like, wait, maybe I actually should step up in my role as a man and protect the feminine in ways that it hasn't been protected before. Honor it, right? And yes, please, right? Like we need that. We need the right men to step up. We need the masculine to actually step the F up into their role and protect and honor the feminine, and also witness it and see it. And I'm going on another tangent, but coming back to sort of this aspect of like noticing your intuition coming online, is for me, it started realizing like the amount of questions I had around my life, and amount of like concerns and confusion and just frustration around doing things that I didn't want to do, like getting a job that I just absolutely don't want to work and my body is not fit for. You know, a lot of women, we're not fit. We have cycles. We're not fit to work 9 to 5 jobs, 5 days a week, 40-hour weeks. Like we're just absolutely not meant to do that. Our bodies cannot sustain that. Now, yes, there's a lot of women that do that, and a lot of us have become numb to it, and so it just feels normal. It feels like fine. And I was in that, right? It was like, oh yeah, it was normal. Like I was able to do it. My freaking nervous system was like in overdrive. I didn't even know it until I quit my job and I started to really regulate my nervous system and rest. It was like I hit this massive wave of exhaustion for a year, and I'm still processing through it. Like it's been a journey, but like my body is still deeply like in pain from those times, and healing. Like I have had to heal so much from even just 3 years of working a job, you know, and a 9 to 5 job. It's like, and how I was at home, like working in my bed to like fucking make it through the day. Like literally I finessed my way through that time to like find a way I could work the job like in a comfortable place in my home. And like, yeah, but anyways, like I am to this day still healing from that time, and my cycle as well. You know, women, we are in these times like of doing things that are not suited for our bodies. Is like we go against the cyclical rhythm of our body. And men, yes, as well, but men, you have a 24-hour cycle, so it's very different from women. But women, we operate on a 30-day cycle and 28-day cycle, and so we are supposed to be in tune with the moon. And there are times in our month, especially when we're bleeding, where it's like we are not meant to literally leave our home. We are here to rest, we're here to sleep, but like most women can't do that because of the world that we live in. And so if you are watching this and you are getting fed up, you are getting tired and annoyed with the systems, you are questioning how to get out of it, maybe you're confused how, first of all, I honor you, and I just say it's like you don't have to figure it out all at once. You know, you're right where you need to be. That's a very big aspect to know. As I was when I like realized I needed to quit my job, but I was like, fuck, what do I do now? Life will show you the steps. You don't have to worry, you know, especially part of the feminine is surrendering. It's not figuring it out, because my whole life it was like hyper fixation on like what I needed to do, control every aspect of my reality. But this is the first step, right? It's starting to be aware and let yourself get angry, let yourself get mad. You can cry, you can get livid, you can just, yeah, like let all the emotions arise that want to come through you. Even if, like, let's say you're in a situation where like you simply cannot, for, you know, money, quit your job or anything like that, or like leave a situation, a relationship yet because it doesn't feel like it's the time, but you know that that is coming. Like, let that just be a seed that's going to flourish in your life without stressing about like needing to escape right now. Your girl tends to do that. It's like when my intuition tells me something, I'm like, okay, I need to act on this immediately. It's like, no, we can slow down. But that said, it's like, I get the frustration. But yeah, I guess essentially what I want to say is like, you know, in your own time, and again, following this intuition that's starting to emerge within you, is like, start to follow this nudge, start to tune in. Life might call you places. That's starting to happen to me. Like, my intuition started kicking online and saying like, you need to go here, you need to cut this cord. Like, little parts of you will start to click on and speak to you. And so this is a big one, right? It's just like the intuition and the voice of your soul starting to speak. And again, in men, this will happen as well. But yeah, I guess that's what I want to say about that. But I guess I want to segue a little bit into something else. So your intuition's starting to sort of rise. You're starting to get a little frustrated. Also, what I'll say in women, and this can happen in men as well, for me, and I want to disclaim here, just because I have to do this on YouTube, is like, disclaim the fact that it's like, this is not medical advice at all, and I feel like you have issues in your physical body, it's like, get that checked by someone that, yeah. But what I'll say is that my whole life I've had very intense problems with like my stomach and digestive like problems, and just like feelings in my womb, and it ties to a lot of things. But I do know a large part of my journey, for me personally, this is why I say personally, is like, my womb has been trying to speak and has been processing a lot of emotions and digesting so much. And men, this can happen as well in your stomach. And I was ignoring it, right? I would suppress with food, I would binge, I would do a million ab workouts to try to make my stomach flat, because when I would have, like, God forbid my stomach was bloated, I would like literally suck in and like hide it from the world. It's like been my biggest insecurity my whole life, and my intuition started speaking to me. My womb was like, when I went through this massive womb awakening, she was like, I'm tired of being suppressed. I'm tired of being shut down, ignored. And even in this case, let's say you don't have any of these sort of symptoms or anything like that in your stomach and everything's great there. Even just lack of awareness and attention on your area of your womb, like not even speaking to your womb like it's a baby, like I've been doing like the past couple months, is like speaking to my stomach as if she is my child, and like there's a baby in my belly. And even lack of doing that in your life, like, can make your womb angry and sad that you've ignored it. So for me, it was like, this was like a month ago, I felt my womb starting to sort of like awaken and speak and be like, I'm tired of being ignored, suppressed, shamed for the way that I am and the way that I look and all of it. So I started asking questions. I started speaking to my stomach, yes, my womb, in this area, and I started to move energy through here. I started to get the most insane sensations in my stomach like I've never experienced before. And again, some people might be like, Katie, like, go get that checked. But like, I'm telling you now, and as you watching this are an intuitive, tapped in human, you know, like, when your intuition is telling you something, like, at least for me, it's like, I could not ignore this. My intuition was like, you need to let this process, know that this is your womb healing and she's speaking and moving energy, trust. And I've always been one to latch to like, oh my God, I have something wrong with me, I have a parasite, or I have like something wrong, and I would latch to that versus just like seeing what's present here. Let me tell you, did energy start moving? Did my womb start showing me things? I was like tapped in like never before. And so I just say that to say of like, you might experience this well, but you might not, but like, start to form a relationship with your stomach, and you will start to hear the voice of your womb, or just like this region of your intuition, the voice, the seed of your soul here, speaking to you like I did. And this has been, yeah, for me, it's just been a big aspect of it, is like really, really seeing like what wants to be spoken here. And even when I say here, some people might be like, okay, is like everything tied to right here in your stomach, your womb? No, I believe your intuition is your whole body. You know, some people might feel it in your heart. You might feel it like up in your crown or anywhere in your body. But I do urge you to like connect to your stomach, especially as a woman, is like connect here, because this is where we birth, you know, life, children, and ideas, and our sacral is right here in our solar plexus. So definitely tune in here. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that as well. That's just been my experience. And then I want to share some other ideas. Some other things that might be happening as well, or what I've noticed is like you'll start to hear, well, this kind of ties to it, right, is like your intuition or like your womb starting to speak to you. But like for me, I like randomly in my house, my intuition's like, you need to go pick up that crystal and put it on your womb. You need to go on a walk and go here. Like you'll start to get these intuitive nudges to go places that don't logically make any sense, but you're like, okay, I'm gonna do it, and just follow it, right? Follow that, because this is the intuition in the womb, the feminine starting to rise and tell you what's needed. Another thing as well, and maybe I'll wrap it up here. I can't really see. 16 minutes. Is, let me see. Hold on. What wants to come through? Okay. Yes, your emotions starting to kick on. So if you're starting to get antsy or stressed, or like things are starting to sort of move through you, energies that you haven't felt before, or maybe you're starting to realize like there's no more time running away from the rage, the sadness, the grief. This is oftentimes your feminine wanting to awaken in you, wanting to rise and wanting to speak through you. And you not running away from it anymore. And this has happened to me. Like there was a moment where my body was like, you need to stop and sit down right now. And oftentimes a lot of us are in masculine overdrive, again, in this world that we've been systemized into and forced into. We have been in this masculine overdrive, and so coming into our feminine and this awakening of the feminine in the womb and our bodies and our connection to ourselves and the earth is getting slow, getting into with the body and letting what emotions want to arise without shaming them, without suppressing them or hiding them, but making love to them, right? Like let yourself feel, let yourself cry. And through this process, your body's going to trust you more and more to actually feel this. And in this process, what I've learned is like, this is you literally making so much love to your feminine, because the feminine is the emotion, feeling, that when your body starts to feel safe, now that you've allowed yourself to feel, you will be amazed at what moves through you, what like happens as a byproduct of you finally just like letting yourself feel. So this is something as well, is just start to notice like, yeah, your body starting to show you things, or wanting you to address childhood wounds or ancestral trauma, or things that maybe you haven't seen before, or you're starting to become aware of like tendencies. This was a big aspect of my journey as well. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot more that I'm going to share, but these are like the main things that came through. I want to say one last thing and then I'll wrap it up, is again, like honoring the fact that, we all live in this world that is hyper masculine. We all live in this world right now that is conditioned for us to be in fear and to do things that we don't want to do. And it's fucking exhausting. It is debilitating. It is, I heard the word gut-wrenching, because our womb. It is gut-wrenching, and it is fucking painful, and it's hard. And I will say is like, it's a fact that we live in this world right now, but do what you can, to follow your intuition, to follow your heart as well, follow love and what feels good to you, even if it does not logically make sense. Your womb is trying to guide you somewhere. The feminine is wanting you to rise into your power, and in this process, it also, this is a big one, a lot of times we will be called to do things that are scary, that are risk-taking. That is something that logically might not make any sense, but your feminine is calling you to trust, to have faith, to surrender to the journey. And I've witnessed this myself, as like, it's a beautiful journey, but it can also be very, very scary, because you're being forced to sort of step up in ways that you haven't before and come back home to yourself. And in coming home to ourself means shedding layers of who we thought we were. It's literally going through death and rebirth processes and becoming an entirely new human. Not becoming, you are that person, but it's like shedding layers of people and versions of you that are not actually you, but were put onto you by society. And the mind and the body, in this process will feel very scared, can sometimes feel very unsafe, but it's about nourishing yourself through it and remembering that you've got this. This journey is for those warriors and souls that have the ability and the power to do it, and I know you do. So hang in there, my love. And thank you for watching this. One last thing I'll say is I am opening up space soon to work with women, and I can't freaking wait. I don't have the container open yet, but check the link below. It has my email. So if you want to email me and just say, hey, Katie, like, let me know when you're, you know, ready to announce whatever it is that you're announcing, and I'll just keep you on my list. But if you're just interested, like, just send me an email, that way I know to reach out to you. Otherwise, I love you so much, and I thank you for being here and watching this, and I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah!